how the Lord can create life. I mean, it's unbelievable. You just see that little baby's head pop out. Your whole life is transformed and changed, and you just love it so much, and you cry, you know. And then 10 years later, that same thing, you want to slap the living out of it. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable, the whole different. I remember when my little boy was born, I was scared to hit a speed bump leaving the hospital for fear his head would go like that and crack open or something. Here I am 10 years later, driving down the interstate, trying to get the perfect whack on the middle of his freaking head. And my wife's like, be careful, you're gonna crash. I don't give a shit. I'll kill everybody in his car right now. All right, I could care less. I've had it with him right now. It's ridiculous. Yeah, the Pope came out and said married couples should have more kids. Well, it's easy for him to say. Daggone Pope ain't got no kids. How about I drop my kids off at the Vatican for a couple hours? How's that sound? Yeah, see if they can get grape jelly out of the Pope hat, all right? That's why I never understood kidnapping. Really? You want to put up with this bullshit? Are you kidding me? Hold him. You kidnap my kids, they'd be back on the porch in 2 days with an apology note strapped to the side up. Oh, but I love them. I don't care what age it is. You put up with it. I love them so much, I tell you. You know, I was going to homeschool my kids, and then my wife reminded me, we're idiots. But, hey, I was homeschooled, and I loved it. I finished second in my class. It wasn't until 2 years ago my mom told me that she'd made the dog valedictorian. I worry about my kids, though. They're so sweet. My little girl's such a sweetie, and my little boy's got a kind heart, and I just worry about bullies and, you know, I was bullied by a fourth grader one time, and I hated every minute of it. So I went home and told my wife she's got to go pick the kids up because I can't handle it down there no more. Hey, you laughed. There's some big fourth graders out there. I mean, this girl, she wasn't small. I'll guarantee you that. Remembered Father's Day, my kids. By the way, Father's Day is the biggest piece of holiday they got out there. That's where your wife and kids take your money and buy you you didn't want to begin with. All right? But my kids, they're so sweet. They drew a picture of me and put "We love you, Daddy" on it. And which is awesome. And I felt so bad because instead of me going, man, I love my kids, this is all, the only thing I could think when they give it to me was, I'm not that fat, am I? And it bugged me, and I told them, kids, I like the picture, but I'm not that fat. And they're like, yeah, you are. I'm like, no, I'm not. Yeah, so they took the picture and held it up to my cell phone, and it unlocked it. Took family vacation. Everybody wants to go canoeing, which I didn't want to do. Canoeing's an old Indian word that means butt blisters. Yeah, canoeing's a lot of fun when you're a fat guy. Yeah, that's a lot of fun right there. My little boy's in the front. I'm in the back, going down the river for 5 miles, popping a wheelie, going in circles. Got a catfish stuck to my nipple. I can't get it off of there. He's like, why do I got to wear a life jacket? Because if this thing tips over, it'll keep you alive long enough for me to save the Kentucky Fried Chicken over there, all right? You know what the difference between canoeing with your wife and canoeing with your little boy is? When you're done canoeing, your little boy is still talking to you.
A while later, they came back from putting gas in the car. My wife walks in the front door, hands me a video camera, and says, you gotta see this. And I'm like, what? She goes, no, trust me, you're gonna have new material for your show. So I rewound and hit play, and sure enough, there's my daughter standing next to her car. She has the door open on the gas tank, and she's standing there doing this. Mom, it won't open. Now, the first indication that my wife can be a very cruel woman when she wants to be is what she did to help the child. Nothing. She just stood there videotaping. Then you hear my wife say, honey, remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And the 16-year-old girl goes, whatever. Camera starts shaking. Then you hear my wife say, honey, turn it counterclockwise. My daughter looked at her watch. And I'm the father standing there watching the tape going, oh, no, no, no. Because I realized she was looking at her watch 2 or 3 seconds too long before she realized she was gazing at a digital watch. To answer your question, yes, she's blonde. But that's a good thing, because if she wasn't, that would mean she was just dumb. Okay. So she finally figures out, okay, turn her to the left, pulls the cap off, and of course we have those, 4, 5, 6-inch plastic leashes on a gas cap. I look at those and I go, who the hell are these for? Obviously, at some point along the way, the car manufacturers had a meeting and they went, okay, there's too many idiots that don't know what to do with the gas caps. We got to put the frickin' leash on them. Were there people at gas stations going, oh, no, And then to add insult to injury, they put that little rack thing inside the door. And these same people are supposed to know, oh, you're going to take the gas cap and hang it there. That's very organized. Thank you. No, those people are going, ah. Okay, so now she turns around, she gets the nozzle out of the gas pump. All right, now, we all know that in the car there's a hole. And you have the nozzle. But there's also the sleeve that goes over the nozzle, has a little spring on it. That, of course, goes over the hole to keep the fumes from coming when you're filling up. You would think that it's somewhere along the line in the last, I don't know, maybe 6 months, she would have said to herself, oh, I'm going to be driving soon. Maybe I should watch Mom and Dad and take notes to see how to fill up a car. No, you know why? Because for the last 5 years, she's been sitting in the back seat going, my parents are so stupid. LOL. Hey, here's the picture of my foot. She tried to cram the entire thing with the sleeve into the hole, just cramming it, crushing it, pushing it, and then she can't say, Mom, it won't fit, it's the wrong one. Camera's shaking. And then she finally figures out, okay, it's got to hang right there. Okay, now, she didn't turn on the pump. She didn't swipe a credit card. She didn't go talk to the guy. She just stood there, apparently waiting for the magic gas to flow. And then she started doing this, realized nothing was going on. She was like, reaches over, squeezes the thing. Camera's shaking. Mom, it won't stay on. Here's the second indication my wife can be cruel when she wants to be. She didn't tell the child what to do. She walked over to the car. You see the camera getting closer. You see her hand reach into the frame. What she did took about a half a second. This is cruelty to children. She reaches in, squeezes a thing with her pinky, flips it shut like this to keep it squeezed, hand out of the frame. My daughter goes, "Mom, how'd you do that?"
I love kids. I like kids a lot. I'm in a good spot with mine. I'm finally done raising them, which is awesome. Yeah, they're 9 and 6. I made it. Took a long time, a lot of ups and downs, but I am done. I'm not even kidding. I really, they don't even need me anymore. You should see their Christmas list. It's not even toys. It's like appliances and furniture. I think they have an apartment in Detroit I'm not aware of. You know what it really is? I just can't discipline them anymore. I can't do it. I can't fight with little people and their little problems. I can't. I got big stuff I got to deal with every day. I can't fight with you and your socks and not wanting to pick them up. I can't. This is my parenting technique now. I go, "You brush your teeth." And they go, "I don't want to brush my teeth." And I say, "Fine." And I walk out of the room. I tried to help. You don't want my help. I'll let life take care of you. That's what life does. It disciplines you. It corrects you when you're wrong. Walk down the street with no pants on. Life's gonna let you know it's not a cool thing to do. Look, who's gonna make her brush her teeth more? Me saying it over and over, or a bunch of 8-year-old girls cornering her in the locker room and calling her shitmouth? That happens once, she's gonna brush her ass off for the rest of her life. She'll be 50 going, "Don't call me shitmouth." Can't do it. And look, how long are we gonna live with each other? What, another 8, 9 years tops? Why all the tension? Let's enjoy ourselves, you know? Let's have a good time and go our separate ways as friends. I want him to look back and be like, "You know what? That guy was fun. I liked him. He was a little weird, but he was kind of funny. I liked that guy." They're not gonna say it about their mother, so they might as well say it about me. Well, look, there's a good cop and a bad cop, right? And she's the bad cop. My wife's amazing. She does everything, but she's not very popular in the house. Well, she's fried. She just wakes up pissed off. She doesn't even have a fuse. As soon as she opens her eyes, "Did everybody do what they're supposed to do?" What was I supposed to do? I was asleep. Was I supposed to get something from Sleepy Town, or? I'll go back. You want me to go back? And I know we're supposed to show a united front, you know, right or wrong as parents. You back each other up against these little people who are trying to kill you. But she's so off the charts, I can't do it. I'll lose all my credibility. The kids and I just roll our eyes all day long. She'd be like, "Everybody get to bed." They're like, "Dad, I know. It's not like it gets better when you go to sleep. Trust me. I've got 4 more hours of this. She's making you go to sleep. She's making me stay up." And look, I like the whole thing. I love the chaotic mess that it all is. I do. I fought it for years. I tried to keep it clean. That's not fun. Life is about a mess. Make your life a chaotic mess. Yeah. I'm not saying you need kids. You don't need kids, but get something. Get some hermit crabs. Get a 3-legged dog. That'll be good stories. You'll have a lot of laughs with that. Get something. Make it a big chaotic mess. Do it. Really. Just make it a big thing. I do it all. I go to dance recitals now. If that doesn't show I love you, then nothing will. I go to dance recitals, always on a Sunday when I have a much better offer. And I have to say no and carry hair products and tutus through the city and go to dance recitals. And look, I don't want to sound like an idiot. When your kid goes up there, it's amazing. It's amazing. You know, I didn't even know they were learning something all year. No idea. I just dropped them off. Oh, someone else is watching them for an hour. Let's get a drink. You want a drink? Yeah, let's go. We got time. And then they waddle out there on the stage and they do a little funny dance and they kind of stumble and it's heartwarming and you get choked up and misty-eyed and that lasts for like 30 seconds. And then you have to sit through 4.5 hours of other people's useless bags of garbage. I'm raising girls. It's all girls in my house, all girls. Whenever I say I'm raising girls, women always go, oh, it's gonna suck. Wait till they go through puberty, your life is over. Really? Like you want a boy going through puberty with what they do around the house? Where are all our tissues? Why are we going through so many tissues? Why do I only have one sock? Where are my socks? Some hairy golem crawling down the hallway, taking a shower for an hour and a half, coming out all sweaty. Ah! You can have it. I'll take a girl anytime. Love girls. But I know there's a limit. There's a limit to how much I can teach them. At a certain point, I got to just back off because I don't know it, and then my wife takes over. Because there's certain things that women know that you only learn from other women. You only share it with other women, and we don't really know it. It's like this weird martial art that makes you so strong and cunning. It's like this lady karate. Very devious. One of your master strokes is making us think that we're the powerful ones. I really thought it for years. Well, the whole game is set up that way, isn't it? I'll ask her on a date. I'll ask her to marry me. I'll give her my name. Oh. And women are very smart. They go along with it. Okay, maybe I'll hyphenate it, but all right. And then she does something one Sunday afternoon and you realize, oh my God, she could kill me in a second. So much more cunning. Women will get rid of a lifelong friend just from an eye roll at dinner. Did you see how that bitch looked at me? And she's gone. You'll never see her again. Gone, like old-time Russia. Out of the contacts, out of the picture frames, disappears. You know how scary that is to a man? To know that everyone in your life is on a giant roulette wheel of death? And that we're on there too, at 00, just going around? It's not gonna land on me, right? What are the odds? It's a terrifying concept to a man, because we never get rid of our friends ever, ever. Right? You meet a guy in kindergarten, if he's your friend for life. He could be the biggest jackass on the planet, too. He could become an alcoholic, drug addict, rob a liquor store, go to jail, come out 10 years later, come to your house, pee in your pool, hit on your wife. You're like, that's done. He's crazy, right? But you gotta love him, you gotta. Look what he's doing in the mailbox. Hilarious, dude. And you think the closer you get to a woman, the safer you'll be. And you're wrong. You're in more danger. Because you're being manipulated in ways you don't even know. Think about it. Every guy who's married is fatter than when he started. Every one. You think that's a coincidence? You think men are just so overjoyed with matrimony that they're just walking around with chocolate sundaes? Wow! My life turned out so much better than I thought it would. No. The common denominator is that you're married to a woman. And when you marry a woman, you think she's gonna love you and care for you and cherish you, and you're wrong. Her first instinct is to keep you. She's a nester. The woman is a nester. She makes the nest, builds the nest, wants everyone in that nest all the time. And guys are always trying to leave the nest. Always. Just to look for worms or do loop-de-loops. Sometimes check out another nest. Who's in that nest? I'm just looking. And women are aware of this and they want to prevent it from happening by feeding you all the time. Essentially making you too fat to fly. So if you ever try and leave, you land on the ground and waddle in circles like a fat duck. And then all the pretty birds look down. Oh, he's funny. I never have sex with him, but he's hilarious. But you should be more powerful. It makes perfect sense that women are strong because your lives are so much more difficult. You have so much more to deal with. It's amazing. You have a lot more to deal with. Just the makeup alone. Just this never-ending art project you're involved in. Carrying luggage around your entire lives.
You know, I am a first-time father, a long-time listener, and just to allay any fears, I'm not going to do an hour of dad jokes. All right, I'm not. Just sometimes people, yes, exactly. You can feel the tension in the room right about that point where they're like, wait, he's not going to talk about having a kid for an hour, is he? You know, and I'm not going to do that to you. One, it's boring, and two, it would make me quite a hypocrite, based on a lot of the material I've done in the past. So, but it has been my world for the last year. I mean, it's a wholly unique experience to me. So of course I've made some observations and thought of some funny things, and I'll share those, and hopefully you won't have to have had a kid to get them and appreciate the jokes. And I'm certainly not gonna tell you, how amazing she is or anything like that. But she is precocious, I will say that. She is precocious. She's 54 weeks old. But if you see her, you'd be like, well, what is she, 62 weeks old? You're like, no, actually, no. I know. Thank you, though. Thank you. No, I know. She's very mature for her age. She carries herself with or I carry her, but, she exudes the kind of maturity you don't often associate with 54 weeks. But, it is a fascinating thing to be a part of, to watch the evolution of this thing. Because when they're born, there's nothing. There's no communication. It's nothing. It's a blob. It's not, but then over time, it starts to evolve. It starts to become a person, and personality traits start to exhibit themselves. And it's really fascinating. And I'm really looking forward to that big shift, that happens, that big change where you finally start to love them. And that's... Well, hurry up with that part, please. When is it going to be worth it in any way, shape, or form? Please. But I am excited to meet her. I think that's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be cool. I'm doing that thing. It's a very Brooklyn thing where you don't meet your kid for the first 7 years, You keep them pure, you keep them away. So she's in a yurt in a bubble underwater, and we'll be there for 7 years. And then this way, I can't taint her with any of my straight, white, hetero, cis, normative maleness things. And I've also decided that I'm not going to teach her to use pronouns when referring to people. Yes, no he's or she's, but everybody will be they, And not necessarily so that she'll be progressive about sexual and gender identity, but so that she'll fail English. So... Oh, she said her first word the other day. That's pretty cool. That's a milestone that, you can't help but be proud of. She said Pyongyang, which is pretty cool, up on current events. No, she doesn't talk, but she does that kind of monosyllabic noises, a lot of just sort of like pa, ta, ka, cha, sha, pa, ka, that kind of thing, which is really kind of cute and endearing most of the time, but really quite the opposite early in the morning when she first wakes up and it's like 6:30 in the morning and I'm completely out of it and I got to change her diaper and then I got to go downstairs and get the mug out of the thing and fill it with water and put it in the microwave and get the thing, because I'm holding her with my left arm, and her mouth is right here. It's literally right here. Her mouth is right here, and I'm doing all this stuff, and getting the milk ready, and getting my dog's medicines and food together, and doing all this stuff, and it's dark, and it's again, I'm just groggy and out of it, and and I'm doing this by myself. I'm there by myself because my wife is often, L.A. or San Francisco or Chicago or somewhere, smashing the patriarchy, and the irony is not lost on me. It's not lost on what is currently taking place. And anyway, so I'm getting all that stuff together, and as I said, it's dark, and the whole time I'm doing that, she's sitting there in my ear just going, pa, pa, ta, cha, 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 sa, sa, sa. And it's like I've got my own personalized 80s horror movie soundtrack playing. Like, stop it. Don't do that. You're creeping me out. Stop it. I'm serious. I've got to put her down. I can't put her on the floor. So, I undo the oven door and set her on that. And it's fine. If nothing else, it allows her to get a little closer to the history of her peoples, and her great-grandfather built ovens. For the Nazis. Now, here's the thing. He got out, Asheville. He got out, you judgmental fuck. So Seriously. But we have to, her 1-year physical is coming up. We have to take her for a 1-year physical, which every one of my friends with kids, which is a lot of them, have all said the same thing. And I know if you have kids, you know what I'm about to say. Just like, oh my God, it's so hard to watch them go through that. It's really difficult. It's awful, because there's all these needles, because there's vaccinations. They have to draw blood. All this shit happens. Oh my God, it's so terrible to watch them go through that. It's awful. And so what I've been doing with that in mind, what I've been doing is slowly introducing her to pain. Yeah. But I'm having a clown do it, so it's fun, Yeah. And so we are taking her in for a 1-year physical, which means obviously my wife and I have had the big discussion, and we have decided to let her live. And I'm going to drill that into her head. I'm going to tell her that repeatedly. Every day, I'm going to make sure she knows that. Because when she's like 5 years old and she's having a tantrum, I want her to be able to repeat that out loud in a public place so that she knows it, and we're at the airport and we got to get on the flight and she's having a tantrum. Like, hey, stop it. Hey, what did Daddy tell you? What did Daddy tell you? You let me live? Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Not like the others? Yeah, exactly. Now, come on, we got to get on the plane. Come on. Seriously. You want to go meet your sister or brother? I don't know. We never found out. Let's go. Let's go.
I'll admit it, not having a dad, I was a delinquent. 13, I got arrested. I'll never forget the cop says to me, how would you like to look like one of these guys on the poster? I'm going, at least he's wanted. What do you feel sorry for? You think I'd be doing this for a living if I was normal? You're paying for my issues. I make up for it though. I love being a dad, man. I do stuff that dads would never do in other generations. Well, first of all, I stayed. But yeah, I'm there from the kids. That's right. So I'm already off to a good start. But I do stuff like Mommy Me. I take Mommy Me classes because I'm off during the day, meet a bunch of moms. We're all in a circle, and I'm the only guy in there. They think I'm part of the group. They breastfeed in front of me. But I'll admit it, I'm peeking. We're singing nursery rhymes. Ryan's mom is smoking hot, Bobby's nanny just bent down. That's a true story. I change diapers, that's right. That's not a man's job, and I'll tell you what. Here's the thing, ladies. You have a better nose than we do. Men don't have a good sense of smell. My wife, she can smell pee 2 blocks away. Not me. I got my son Jackson the other day. I got him, I'm like hovering around. I can't tell if he, and then I go, all right. I'm like a DA raid. I'm going in. Fire! Man, they should make clear diapers. That's what I say. They need to fix this. I'm telling you, they have so much technology, right? How about if he has a poop, the diaper sends you a text message? You could call it. I am more than just a comedian. I am an entrepreneur. Hell, they have equipment for everything. Oh, you have to have all the baby equipment. Here's my life in a nutshell. I'm hanging out with my single friends at this outdoor cafe. They're checking out all the girls. My one friend goes, whoa, look at the rack on her. I'm going, look at that stroller she's pushing. Got the baby monitor. Oh, my wife is on that monitor like Anne Frank in an attic listening for Nazis. I'm sorry. Too soon? There's so much equipment now. They have baby Mozart. They put Mozart in their crib, a machine that's supposed to help them sleep and make them smarter. If things changed, when I was a kid in my crib in Philadelphia, I was listening to my great aunt, chain smoker Marlboro Red, singing me a lullaby. When the bell breaks, cradle will fall, down will come Greggy. Here, play with my smoke ring. Look, the Olympic symbol. Too much equipment, man, I'm telling you. They have the cushion cribs. You know where I slept when I was an infant? A dresser drawers. I started squealing, my mom, shut the damn drawer. I turned out okay. We all live through pain. Who doesn't have a BB inside him to this day?
We will never get divorced, though, because frankly, neither one of us wants custody of the children. So I think we're in it for the long haul. Because we do have kids. We're breeders. We have some spawn, the wife and I, twin boys. People ask if we use fertility drugs to have twins, and not unless you count Prozac and tequila as fertility drugs. We like to say we were blessed with twins because we got the child that we always wanted and one for parts. And I had always dreamed of having twins, but in my dreams they were the Olsen twins in a hot tub. It was different, but this is special. It really is. I'm Irish. My wife is Lebanese, so we know they're going to grow up to be drunken terrorists. You might want to wait for the punchline before you clap at that. It's great, though. I like being a parent. It's fun. Twin pregnancy's tough pregnancy. First trimester, a lot of vomiting and crying, and my wife was having a tough time too. And then second trimester, she snapped at me one day and she said, I'd love to see you give birth to a child. And I said, I'd love to see you pee your initials in the snow. We're just different, you know what I mean? I went to every single doctor's appointment with my wife when she was pregnant because I only work an hour a night, so I couldn't get out of it. And it's humiliating. You walk into the doctor's office, and within 5 minutes, your wife is naked with her feet up in the stirrups, and I can't even get her to wear a cowboy hat to bed. You know what I mean? And then the doctor comes sauntering into the room, and the first thing he does is he conducts what he calls a breast examination. That's what he calls it. I call it going to second base on my wife in front of me. That's what I call it, because that's not necessary, right? There's no medical need for that. What is that, Obamacare? And then he says, I'm just looking for lumps. And I'm like, you're going to find one, fuckface. Keep it up. It's a scam. Our final visit to his office, I gave him a urine sample all over his desk. I didn't like him, and I made that clear. He was all right. He actually let me be in the delivery room when the kids were born. First, they want to make sure you're not going to pass out. So he said, have you ever witnessed childbirth before? And I said, yes, but it was a long time ago, and it was from the inside. But I think I can handle it. And I was fine. It was great. I actually filmed the delivery. I call it the sequel, because I also filmed the conception. And that is none of your goddamn business. You learn a lot when you become a dad, stuff you don't know you're going to learn. Women have a book called What to Expect When You're Expecting. There's no book for men because they know we're lazy sacks of shit and we'll never read it. So we learn on the job. And the first thing I learned was that Playtex has a synthetic nipple for the top of their baby bottles that is so unbelievably lifelike. And you have not lived until you had a gin and tonic through one of these things. Honest to God. That is nirvana. You're very kind. We child-proofed our home, but they kept getting in. Very frustrating. 2 boys. My wife wanted to name one of them after her grandfather, but I thought Grandpa was a stupid name, so I vetoed that. And then she suggested Simon, and I said no, because then we'll have to do whatever he says, and I am not doing that, so... Thank God there were boys, because the girl's name we had picked out was Alexa and Siri, so we dodged a bullet there. They're a lot of fun, though. Twins either love each other or they hate each other. And our twins have nicknames, Israel and Palestine. They don't get along. My brother has twins, and they're inseparable because they're Siamese. And they don't get along either. Very awkward. Anyway, twins are awesome, though. They're fun. My boys they're not the brightest bulbs in the Christmas tree, and I can say that because everyone seems to know that. The town put a sign right outside our house that says "Slow children." It's humiliating, but we think they're dyslexic. We hope they're dyslexic because every Christmas they write letters to Satan, and that's awkward. They're a lot of fun, though. We play hide and seek all the time, and they can never find me because you got to be 21 to get into a strip club. But they try so hard, you know. And we tease them a lot. We tase them a lot because you're not allowed to hit your kids. We never hit our kids. We choke them out, and they always tap their pussies. But They don't tap their pussies. They don't have. They tap out. But anyway. And we never yell at our kids. We prefer more of a creepy whisper from underneath their bed at 3 a.m. Very effective. They're funny, though. They're awesome. One of my twins, Harry, came over from catechism class, religion class, and he said, Daddy, did we evolve from Adam and Eve? And I said, well, Adam and Eve were first, but then they had kids, and they had kids, and they had kids, and that's how you came to be. And he said, well, Mommy said we evolved from apes. And I said, well, Mommy was talking about her side of the family, but on our side... And that did not go over well on the home front.